Gang-stalking demons have no life. As soon as they see you, you become their main priority. As soon as gang stalkers get a hold of you visually, you become their main priority. You become the main focus of their whole entire being. Because when people like that tend to get around you, they tend to not be able to focus on themselves or living their own life. So what they have to do is they develop a routine. And that routine is surrounded around your unhappiness. What they like to do is to see you go from living your life to that of one which is an unenjoyable, miserable existence, because that is the one that they are in, despite all the trinkets. Now, all right, despite all the trinkets, a lot of these people are really done up. A lot of these people are really done up. A lot of these people are doing really well. A lot of them are done up, but what it is you can tell that some of them may be hiding something, because the fact that they have so much going for them, but the way they interact is one you wouldn't. It says a lot. All right, and it doesn't mean that people who have things are not the best people, or people who don't are haters. But there's certain situations where you'll have people who will gang stalk, and they are trying to relay a message, and that message is one that you do not get to live the life you want to if I have to see it, if I have to be around it, if I have to exist within your existence, if your existence is greater than the one that I'm existing in. They want to have your existence for themselves. They want to have a greater existence than you, and they try to portray themselves as having a greater existence than you. If their existence was that much greater than the one that you're existing in, why wouldn't they just go exist in it? But they can't. They can't go exist in it. Why? Because they are threatened by the mere existence of your own. And they feel that they have to compete with that existence in a number of ways. Most of them being ways in acting in which ways you would not. You wouldn't act in the ways in which they do. But that's what they feel they need to do to come up against who you are and how you make them feel, which is nothing you have control over. You have absolutely no control over how you make a person feel. If you could turn it off, you would. If there was a button where you could just shut it off and allow others to exist and feel good, and for you to go off and live your life, you would have shut that button off eons ago. It had never been turned on. But unfortunately, that you can't turn that off, and you wouldn't want to, because it's that light that you have within you. It's that fire that you have within you. You know, the Hebrew language is a language of fire. Your spirit is fire. And you have the fire for your desire to be that much higher in life. You want to be great and do great things. It's going to be a lot of focus that you have to put on yourself more than others, because there are opposing forces. that you have to rise up against. And you will, because they can't defeat you, because they're not more dynamic than you, because you are more dynamic than them, way more dynamic than they could ever be. You are more than a conqueror, all right? And they are more than able to be defeated by you, all right? You are going to crush them with your feet because you walk in the spirit of truth. You are going to crush them and destroy them because the light and the peace that comes with you and your attitude, you are a penetrable force, an impregnating force, all right? Implanting yourself in the minds of those who have disdain for you and they can't handle it. But guess what? That's none of your business. It's not your problem. It's nothing that you should even have to worry about. But they will try to bring it to your doorstep. Special delivery. All right, they're gonna try to bring it to your doorstep, special delivery style. You're gonna have to experience this. I had to experience you. You have to experience me. So these people that, as soon as they see you, it's like their life, the whole life that they were just living, it's like it just goes out the window. It's not there anymore. It doesn't exist. But how can one not exist if they were already existing prior to your existence? Are you a great warrior, destroyer of worlds? Is that who you are? More than a conqueror, a great warrior, destroyer of worlds? All right? Destroying universes left and right, putting your foot down in the house, in somebody else's house? Has your Pluto crossed somebody else's Mars? Better put your foot down in somebody. If you have entered their house unknowingly, you can't help that. But what you can do is put your foot down. Say, I didn't know I entered your house. I didn't know my Pluto crossed your Mars. I didn't know. But I'm not going to let you take it out on me because of it. You got to get me out by dealing with you, not with me. You can't yell and scream at the trash like it's going to take itself out. You can't just sit there with your own negative thoughts and be mad at the other person. You have to fix your own thinking and be right with yourself. You need to be mad at yourself for thinking those negative thoughts. All right? You need to be mad enough to repent and change and think a different thought and think something new and think a different way. All right, that's why gang-stalking haters they have no life as soon as you come around them. They get consumed in trying to make someone else's existence be less than their own. They can't stand you having all that fun. They can't stand you having all that enjoyment. Those people who act like that. Those who deliberately make it a schedule to enter into your reality and to destroy certain aspects of it because they don't like to see you enjoy the time you have to yourself. They don't want to see you enjoy that time. They don't want to see you have that moment to yourself. No. They don't want to see you do the things you like to do. So they will try to interrupt them. All right, whether it be however, they have multiple ways. All right, they have multiple choices with doing what they do to try to interrupt you. So when they come up with their wicked ways and attacks, all right, because they have no life, you just have to realize it as such. This person doesn't have a life and I do. I have a life and I get to do something with it. Instead of being upset because this person has no life, I'm going to be more happier over the fact that I have one. because I can do something with it. I got free will. I have a choice. I have a decision to make to do something with my life every day. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to make that happen. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, I'm going to make that happen each and every day. My life is important. My life means something. My life is special. And I got to do something with it. I can't just sit there and just wallow in the muck and mire and be disappointed like everybody else. Things may not be perfect. Why be disappointed? Things may not be all the way right. Why be disappointed? Things may not be just how I would like them to be, but why be disappointed? Why be upset? Why be mad over those things? Because I have a choice to make a positive change. I have a choice to do something different. I have a choice to do something that will lead me in another direction. Instead of being a gang-stalking hater, I can go out and do something greater with my life. And that's why you attract so many people that find an issue with you, because you are choosing to do something different with your life. You're not doing the same thing others are doing. You're not doing the same thing everyone else is doing. You want more. You don't care what people think about you. They might try to drive it on home. They may try to keep saying a certain thing to make you quit or give up. Cut off their way of communicating with you if you must. End the conversation short if you must. Don't talk to them if you must. If this person is being a nuisance to you, don't deal with them. Keep it short, sweet. Don't be rude. Just keep it short and sweet. People don't deserve to drag you down. You don't deserve to be dragged down, especially when you're choosing to be up. And somebody just doesn't want to see that, so they have something to pull from up their sleeve to try to knock you down a peg. If you feel that's the way a direction or a conversation is going, discontinue it. You got feet. Whatever your ears don't like to hear, you got the authority to disappear. Excuse me. Later. Sorry, gang-stalking hater. I don't have time for this. When you become a person's main priority, you can pretty much tell. All right, this isn't something to he think no. This isn't something we think. It's something that we see, which causes us to think certain thoughts. Stop playing with a vessel. This is something that we see, which causes us to think certain thoughts. We don't just think this. We're not just seeing things, despite how ignoramus people want to be, using their ignoramus. Very low vibrational, ignoramus thoughts. Their vibranium is on the ignoranium. Vibranium all on the ignoranium. Quit playing with a vessel, all right? People who have made you their main priority, is like they're stuck. They're stuck in a certain mindset. They're stuck on a certain vibration. And they act like you don't mean nothing to them. But the actions that they display, they show you, it's clear as the day is long. This person got a problem and an issue. And you choose to keep looking past it. And you're going to let that issue be their own. You're going to let that issue be their own and just continue to look past it. Even if they've made you their own priority, there's other ways to do the things you need to do if it's affecting you in a way that you wish it wouldn't. You could find a different way, find a different time, do things when that person is not around. All right, because some people will try to inconvenience your life when they see things working out for you. a gang-stalking hater. They will try to inconvenience your life because they don't want to see things work out for you. They don't want to see you go from the bottom to the top. They don't want to see the tail become the head, but the Bible says that that's going to take place anyway. The tail is becoming the head right before the eyes of everyone. Whether they want to see it or not, the tails are becoming the head. All right, this thing is over with. It's fallen. Babylon has fallen. Babylon is fallen. The tail is becoming the head. All right, it's time for the tail to become the head. It's time to rise up within yourself and do something positive and become great. Because you are going to have to do something for yourself. You're going to have to be there for yourself. You're going to have to build something for yourself. Because, I mean, people are really starting to realize who you are in Christ, and they're starting to realize who they aren't. And some of them, it's eating them alive. You're working your purpose. You're doing your due diligence, taking care of your business, and you're doing the things that you were put here to do. Regardless of the way your hairline looks. All right, regardless of how your beard looks, regardless of how anything looks. You don't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't take anything away from who you are or what you were put here to do. They want to use those things as distractions. So what? If that's the only thing that a person is focused on, all right? If a negative thing is the only thing a person is focused on, you know, things that are the way they are, accept it. If you don't put yourself down about it, nobody else can. Listen, if it's not making you any less happy, if it's not stopping you from enjoying your life or yourself, oh well. Enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time with life. All right, but don't let gang-stalking haters ruin your life, because they're going to try. Certain things you enjoy, people who are watching you too much, what they're going to do is they're going to try to insert themselves into your reality, so that way you'll enjoy what you're enjoying a lot less. Because they want you to enjoy. They don't want you to enjoy your life. They want you to join them with the misery they endure in life. That's what they want. But you're not going to endure any misery with them, because you know how to not be miserable mentally, and you know how to circumvent the attacks they try to take out on you. It's a lot. It's more ways than one to skin a cat. And when you've got to deal with people who are, when you have to deal with people who are seeking you out, seeking to destroy, you got to plan. You got to strategize when you have gang stalkers. You can't just keep doing the things and popping out at the times that you know they're coming to try and disturb you, or coming and try to harm you, or bother you. All right, there's different times you could do things. There's different ways you can do things. You have to be creative. You can't just sit there and be upset over someone doing something that you don't like, or someone doing something to try to inconvenience you or stop you. You have to be creative. You have to use your mind. You have to switch it up. You have to do things different. You have to throw them off. Gotta throw them off. All right, when people make you their main priority, they've watched you for quite some time. They know when you're about to do things. They probably have a special time set out specifically to try and disturb you. These are people who are strategic themselves, so you have to strategize as well. They're creating specific times around your schedule to try and cause you stress, problems, worry, make things harder for you or difficult for you to do them than you normally would. All right, because they feel that life has cheated them. They feel that life has cheated them. They feel that in your presence they're missing something or something's being taken from them. They feel that you would outdo them some way, or you're better than them some way, and it's something that they can't let go of. They don't know how to wrap their mind around how they feel about you. So what they do is they behave in a way that allows them to alleviate that stress and that pressure. And I'm not gonna hold you. I can't share it with you yet, but I found a way to alleviate some of the pressure and stress with some of the people that I have to deal with in certain aspects of life when certain things have happened to me recently, and I had to say something to someone and they got the point. And I didn't have to get upset. None of that. I said it, it felt good, and it is what it is. Wasn't anything bad that I said. It was the truth. It was honest. It wasn't even anything that, was the truth that could still be taken any kind of way. Just like I'm talking to you now, I said what I said, and this person was like confused and, upset. And, I flipped the script on them peacefully, positively. They didn't like it. They didn't know what to do with that program. They didn't know what to do with that thought missile. Just pew. So whatever your situation is, keep asking God to bless you and help you get through it, and think of ways to be able to defeat your enemies. Ask him to defeat your enemies for you, but also ask him to be able to show you how to defeat your enemies as well. If there's any ever things that you have to come up against, there's things that you could say to people. All right, book a session with me. All right, I can't really say too much in the video, but that's why you have to book a session with me, because there are things that I can't always share in the video. I have to share it with you one-on-one. These gang-stalking haters, right? There are certain things that you're trying to excel at, certain things you want to be good at. They're trying to figure these things out. They want to know what you're up to, what you do, so they could try to get in between it and find a way to stop it. These are people who are already successful. These are people who already have certain things in life, but the objective is to not see you get to the same level as them, same position as them, or greater. So if they can prevent that, because it's something that if they saw it, it would cause them, it would be like looking at a solar eclipse. It would cause them to go blind. Your success has the power of a solar eclipse. They need special glasses to see you shine. They need special glasses to see you shine, because you're making your haters go blind. You're making karmics go blind. You're making the disdainers, the doubters, the dream busters, the negatives go blind. And these are people who deliberately take time out of their day to get in your way, to try and stop you from doing the things you need to do to get ahead in life. So when you notice that over a couple period of times, that person, what else would they be? People don't do certain things around specific times that you do certain things around specific times just by chance and coincidence. You don't notice the things that you notice for no reason. You're seeing it, it's around a specific time, you're doing something. If it's in the way, if it's an inconvenience, if it's a bother, and it keeps happening, what else is a logical mind to think? This is someone who has an issue that is taking time and energy and putting in effort to try and stop you and make you less successful than they are, or to keep you as successful as you are currently. They either want to keep you where you're at or possibly even make you do less. But the thing is, none of that's going to happen. The effort that they're putting in is going to be all for nothing. It's going to be a waste. It's going to make you, like, the people who stress you out the most teach you the most. The people who hurt you the most or make your life the most difficult, if you don't give up, they're going to prepare you for what God has in store for you. And you're going to be able to deal with everything that comes with that. Because when you get blessed, it's going to be the same thing. There are going to be others who feel you shouldn't be blessed. But when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies find ways to be at peace with him. It's a certain way you got to be able to think. That's why I'm always talking about how to use your mind. It's a certain way you have to be able to think in order to have your success, keep your success, and keep the negatives at bay. Even if you still may have to deal with them, you can at least keep them at bay in your mind, and continue to work on doing that until you're a mastermind. So you got to book a session with me, and you got to get with me so I can put you on to certain topics. All right, I can't talk about everything in the videos. All right. I'm doing as best I can. There's certain things I can't share for certain reasons, all right? Because what the information and everything that it has to do with. So, I know I'm not the only one that has noticed this. I know I'm not the only one who's enduring this and going through this. Other people who have became successful have dealt with this. So you have to keep in mind the end result, regardless of everything that's happening. That's the best thing to do, is to keep in your mind the end result. Because with all the things you have to go through, with all the things you're going to have to endure, keeping your mind on the end of everything, that's pretty much the same as saying is keeping your mind on the prize. And if you can keep your mind on the prize and on the end of everything, and see yourself where you want to be, doing what you want to do, and use that as a place to go when the enemies are trying to attack, or when people are trying to come up against you, or stress you out, or make things hard, or make things difficult, or when things just don't seem or look the way you want them to. You can go to a different place in your mind to where everything is okay and everything is all right. And that is the divine mind. And that's why your mind has no problems. You have to have enough patience with yourself, and learn to have enough patience with yourself and others to be able to take yourself to a different place in your mind when things are happening. But more than others, you have to have enough patience with yourself. If you can have patience with yourself, you can have patience with others. It's not so much other people when it comes to dealing with yourself and how you feel about things. So once you are able to gain control of yourself and how you feel about things, then you become the master of your mind, and the things that other people do are less likely, or least likely, to have a control over you, have an effect over you. Because face it, there are certain people who are dealing with people who are purposefully trying to, be an antagonist in their life. You're going through life, and they're out there to try to make things harder or difficult for you. And you being the person they're doing it to, you have to deal with it. But once you get to a certain level, you realize you don't have to deal with it. That's OG top science right there. You don't have to deal with it. But learning how to deal with it will show you that you don't. But once you realize you don't have to deal with it, you have to learn how to deal with yourself. So you're gonna have to deal with something. And that's why these teachings are important, because you're graduating and gradually learning how to just deal with yourself and not deal with other people and what they try to take you through, because you don't honestly have to deal with it. All you have to deal with is your perception of it, how you think about it, how you take it in, how it makes you feel, how you process it. See how many yous are in this, and how many thems are in that. 0. They may be the point of where the negative energy is coming from, but you could always redirect your focal point. They're the focal point of where the negative energy is coming from, so redirect your focal point to something else. redirect your attention to something else. And that's why putting your thoughts back on the end result, putting your mind back on, calling heaven down in the midst of hell, keeping your eyes on the prize, that's why it's very important. And that's a technique, and all that is visualization. All that is using your mind and directing your thought power and focus energy onto what it is you want it to be on. And the more you practice that, the more we practice that, I know I'm gonna practice it, the more that's practiced, the easier it's gonna be, just like that, for you to not be bothered by other people. There are certain people who aren't bothered by others on certain levels, but they're bothered by you on other levels. So the things you're dealing with, they don't have a problem with, but on the level that they're dealing with you, which is causing them to have a problem with you, you don't deal with any problems on that level. Let that sink in. So the things you have to deal with are things they're trying to force you to have to deal with, but you have to come to the conclusion that all you have to deal with is yourself. But the reason why they feel like they have to deal with you, which is causing you to have to deal with them on a level which is causing you to have to deal with yourself, is because they're not dealing with their damn self. And you may have to rewind that to get that and truly let that sink in. But anybody that got that, put a star in the comments, because that is the doozy right there. And on that note, I'm ending this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.